Hi, everyone. Welcome to our third session on prosperity healing, on putting energy into our chakras, and also on taking out the energies from our chakras that are no longer required. So today, what we'll talk about is past patterns from the past. They could be patterns from childhood, or they could be patterns from other places. So we'll talk about that. Okay. So let's close our eyes. Let's do an invocation to the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother. We thank you for your priceless blessings, for divine light, divine love, divine guidance, divine love, mercy, inner healing, physical healing. Thank you for the inner strength to practice regularly. Thank you for your divine help and protection, for illumination, abundance, and prosperity. We thank you. Let's be aware of our body. We have a body. Our prosperity is often related to our body. We want to feed it, shelter it, clothe it, and of course for all our family. However, we need to keep in mind, I am the soul. I am not the body. I have a body. I am not the emotions. I have emotions. I am not the thoughts. I create thoughts. Let us now choose to create thoughts and emotions that support us in our journey towards prosperity. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. I am one with my higher soul. I am that I am. I am one with the divine spark within me. I am a child of God. I am connected with God. I am one with God, and I am one with all. Inhale slowly and gently open your eyes. So, welcome to our third session. So, today we will be talking about old negative beliefs. So, let's just go back, let's close our eyes and just be aware of our very, very early childhood, really early childhood. Perhaps for the first time when we became aware of what money is, or perhaps we were asked to do a small transaction. So, I'll just share a small incident from my life, probably under the age of 6, probably. So I was asked by my parents to go buy a pack of playing cards because we were off on a picnic. And so my father gave me some money, and the store was right there, and obviously he was waiting in the car, and he told me to go and get a pack of cards. So I gave the shopkeeper the money, and he gave me the pack of cards, and then I was waiting for change, because before that I had mostly gone out with I suppose, I mean, every time I went out to the temple with my house help, she would give the shopkeeper some money and he would usually give her some change. But in this case, the shopkeeper did not give me back any change. So what I did is I asked him for change. I said, "Paisa dijiye, give me the money back." And he's like, "The money is finished." This is what he said. This is the motion. "Money is finished." And I was like, "Money is finished?" I said, "There's lots of money in your drawer," right? And I wanted my change because at that point, I didn't know what the change is supposed to be. I didn't know math well enough, I think. But what I did know is, out of habit of watching, my mother would go shopping, she would give the shopkeeper some money. So normally they would give back some change. Perhaps my father counted out the correct change and gave it to me for the pack of cards. But what I was used to is getting money back. And I remember having a little tussle, literally, with the shopkeeper, where he said, "Paisa nahi hai, the money is finished." And I kept saying, "There's money in your drawer, give me back." Okay. So the reason I'm sharing this is because sometimes these little things get stuck in our mind. Okay. And they can create small blockages in our mind. So what I would like you to do is to just go back into your own childhood and try to think of the first time that you were aware of money. Like for me, before this pack of cards incident, I was not really aware that my house help was buying bananas or whatever. It was just kind of like all happening. This was the first time that I did a transaction. So try to go back. I try to remember, what was the attitude towards money. So some of us have, and then as we grow up, we hear a lot of people, especially our parents, talk about money. For example, if we have parents who keep saying, we can't afford it, or there are other parents who don't say directly that they can't afford it, but they'll make promises to their children and then they won't keep those promises. So when we don't keep those promises, that also becomes a pattern in our own minds. And I have, when we do healing, I've observed certain parents who come in for healing for their children, and often they'll say, um, they'll make promises to their children which they have no intention of keeping. So I usually encourage them to not make promises that they can't keep, because what happens is that that becomes a pattern. And then by the law of karma, if we are making promises that we are not keeping, guess what's going to happen? Promises that are made to us don't materialize. For example, a client meeting doesn't materialize. The client tells you on the phone, yes, 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 Sheetal, I'm going to give you the contract. Yeah, 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 definitely. He puts down the phone, forgets about me, doesn't ever get back, doesn't take my calls after that. So what does that mean? That means that that is a pattern, right? Now you may say that that is that person doing it. Partially correct, but it's also because we have created that pattern within us. So today's healing session, while you meditate, of course, this is not applicable for those watching this on YouTube later. You need to join us for our live sessions. But for those of us who are here in person, at least we think you're here on Zoom, what we're going to do is we're going to do healing for old patterns. So the reason we'd like you to be aware of them is that when you are aware of them, it's just easier to let go. It's easier for us to heal and to cleanse. Okay, so let's be aware of those kind of patterns in our childhood. What about patterns that that rich people are mindless and thoughtless? Yeah, have you experienced that in your childhood? Just think about it, okay? Just think about these things. Because some of the wealthier people that I know personally, I would say that I find that they're actually more humble, and they're very much gentle. Um, and they're really nice people. Like, they are very polite and respectful of the fact. In fact, I think they're quite sensitive to the fact that someone may have less financial wealth, and that they have different level of financial wealth. So again, it's like, what's the kind of people that we are attracting? Are we constantly attracting people who are going to make us feel bad, or are we constantly attracting people who are going to make us feel good, that we have what we have, it's okay, you may have more, I may have less, it's okay, it's fine. Okay. So let's think of patterns related to people who are wealthy. One of the techniques that I understand is that it's a good idea to bless wealthy people. So again, I think it's just the law of karma from Master Cho's books. This is what I have understood, that when we do the blessing, especially after the meditation, just start blessing the really wealthy people. Some of the names, I'm not going to take any names, because but who are the wealthy people on the planet. The top 10, top 20 Forbes lists, Fortune list, whichever list you prefer, top India list. If you're in India, just remember those people and bless them. It's the law of karma. The more we bless people who are wealthy, we are letting the universe know that we are also ready to be wealthy. Okay. Now, along with that also comes responsibility, because along with money comes responsibility to use it for charity, to use at least 10% for charity. So that's just something to keep in mind, is that tithing aspect. Now, the other thing we're going to talk about is patterns from past lives. So some of us may believe in incarnation, some of us may not. So I'll just ask you to reflect a little bit on this one little thing. When there is a baby born in the house, especially if you have one or two children in the house, don't they have their own likes and dislikes even when they're babies? Like, one baby will be like a more happy child, one baby may not be such a happy child, for example. Now, we as parents are obviously providing the same kind of infrastructure to to both the children. So why are the children different? Why are children why are they different? They have certain patterns. You'll find in a family there are some children who are very, very thrifty, and then there are other children who like to spend a lot. So these are also patterns. So I'm not challenging this. What I'm trying to say is just be aware of our own pattern. What is our pattern? Do we think we deserve? Do we think we don't deserve? money? Do we think that rich people are bad people? And if we have any of these thoughts, then just be aware of them. It's okay. We are all a amalgamation of many thoughts and many emotions which have come partially from us, but partially from also from our environment. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to clean our own chakras and we're going to clean our own body and make sure that it's just not as that we're ready to change. So if you're willing to change, then we need to just let go of the stuff that we want to change. Okay. So some of us also feel that we don't deserve money, that some of us also feel that if we have a lot of money, then we may not be as spiritual as we are right now. So that's another obstacle. So what I would like to say to that is be aware that the more money you have, if your lifestyle is taken care of, then you actually have more time, right? To do service, to do healing, to do other things that will be beneficial for humanity, right? So let's just be aware of that also. Let us be aware that we deserve money because, if we have an attitude of sharing, so let's say, for example, if a person who's receiving a large amount of money is also tithing 10% of that money. Tithing basically means donating to charity, donating to others. So if we have somebody who is donating to other people, then you know why not? So let's say, for example, if somebody earns, let's say, 10 lakh rupees, then they have about 1 lakh rupees to donate. Now, there's a lot you can do with 1 lakh rupees of charity, right? So let's just be aware of that, and let's just start to tithe. Sometimes the blockage also comes from tithing, that we have not given, so we don't feel entitled to receive. So let's just be aware of a couple of the things, especially the patterns from childhood. If you have any patterns, if you've heard people say that rich people are bad, money makes you corrupt, there's so much corruption, etc., etc., any of those things, just put them out there for the healers to remove from your system. And what we will do is we will remove these negative patterns which are preventing us from becoming wealthy, and we will put in fresh energy which will help you and your chakras to become more wealthy. Okay, so with that, we will move on to the next part. Let's keep our eyes closed. Let's do some blessing. Let's be aware of our crown. Let's be aware of our heart. Let's be aware that all energy comes from the Supreme God, flows through the great teachers, through the healers, and comes to us, to our teacher, Master Choka Sui. Let's bless ourselves. Let's visualize ourselves as a child. Smile. See the cute, beautiful, innocent child learning slowly about money, about prosperity. Let's bless this child with tremendous prosperity. May this child have what it needs without getting spoiled. Let's also be aware of our financial targets and our alternative sources of income. We did this in session 1 of this series, where I requested you to write down the current source of income, the amount, and the desired amount for the future, and also alternative sources of income. So let's bless that paper on which you have written all these targets. Let's bless them with tremendous energy. Let's bless everybody else's targets also. Inhale slowly, be aware of the crown and the heart as we bless other people with tremendous prosperity. As we bless others, we are entitled to receive. Let's bless ourselves with good health. Let's bless ourselves with new patterns of good health, because new patterns of good health means that we are prosperous. We are not spending too much money on health issues, right? So let's bless ourselves with good health. Let's bless ourselves with good finances, with good relationships, and with tremendous spiritual progress. May we be blessed with materiality and spirituality and balance between the two that will make us able to serve in the world and also live a good life for ourselves. Let's be aware that we have released old patterns of not deserving of other people's thoughts and emotions. So let's now bless ourselves with new patterns. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be wealthy. I am a good person. Rich people are good people. Let's remember a few of the rich people we know. You know people personally, or there are certain names in your mind, it's a good idea to bless people who you know, because usually sometimes what happens is we end up feeling envious of them, right? So instead of envy, let's just bless them. So let's bless them with their wealth. May they protect their wealth. May they use their wealth in the right ways. And let's bless ourselves also with tremendous wealth and prosperity. Let's bless our home with tremendous prosperity. Be aware of the crown, be aware of the heart, feel the energy coming out of your hands, flowing into your home, filling your home with prosperity, filling your workplace with prosperity. Visualize your bank account, bless your bank account, bless your assets. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. You may take a few more minutes to bless anything else that you'd like to. Let's also bless Master Chopak Sui's workshops, CDs, books, authorized instructors, and authorized centers. Let's bless everyone with tremendous prosperity and success. Once you're done, gently open your eyes. How do you feel? So thank you everyone for joining us for today's session. For those who are watching this later on YouTube, we'd request you to join the live sessions where we will do healing while you do the meditation. Okay, so with that, thank you so much to everyone. Thank you for joining. Let's also be aware that it is the group energy, the fact that so many of us are here together, which increases the amount of energy that is flowing into the group. And we as healers are able to channel the energy to the rest of us and of course to ourselves also. Okay, so thank you so much. One more little thing I wanted to add, we are having a nurturing session. This is open to self-pranic healers and well as basic pranic healers. It's called Heal the Child Within You. So the idea is to heal some of the patterns that we are carrying with us from childhood. Okay, that's going to be on this coming Wednesday. It's called Heal the Child Within You. Okay, so with that, we will end the session. Again, thank you so much for your presence. Bye.